Why does Ted Cruz believe that God needs America to fulfill the promise he learned in Sunday school? I grew up in a church here in my local town that preached that protect Israel, no questions asked, because prophecy depended on it. Because if we don't, we're cursed. According to Genesis 12, verse 3, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Well, that message didn't just stay in church. It has shaped the worldview of modern politicians like Ted Cruz. Men and women raised on Sunday school promises, now preaching them as government policy. But I had to ask, does God need America to carry out his covenant? Because if you believe the Bible, God has already judged the kingdom of Israel. Because if you remember, he let the Assyrians destroy it over 2,700 years ago and scatter the 10 tribes to be lost forever. Why? Because its kings broke faith, set up idols, oppressed the people, turned away from his commands. The modern Jewish people claim lineage not from the kingdom of Israel, but from the ancient kingdom of Judea, which is why they're Jewish. It was centered in Jerusalem. It did keep the temple. It kept the lineage of David. But the name we use today, Israel. So why call the modern state Israel and not Judea? When the original founders, Ben Gurion and all those who came into Palestine and named it Israel, why did they do that? Was it the case that the large nation of Israel promised from the sea to pass the Jordan River was bigger than the small Jewish state centered around Jerusalem? Could it be that Israel wasn't a divine name, but more of a powerful brand? Something big enough to stir prophecy, attract sympathy, and guarantee support from Americans like Ted Cruz who heard stories in Sunday school? And without any doubt, the modern state of Israel has the right to exist. But does that mean it's government or people? Loving the people doesn't mean rubber stamping the politics of a current government. And just because a country calls itself Israel doesn't mean God co-signed the leadership. You remember in the Bible warns in Hosea chapter 8, verse 4, they set up kings without my consent. They choose princes without my approval. Now we act like every leader over there is some modern David or Solomon. But what if they're more like Ahab? If you believe and have faith in God, then maybe he doesn't need lobbyists and American missiles and American senators and representatives to keep his promise alive. In my book, Reviving Our Republic, I lay out Washington's thoughts in these sort of alliances. And one of those, in my 95 thesis, thesis 43, an addictive sympathy for a favorite nation lures our nation into participation in the quarrels and wars without adequate justification. Those are Washington's words that we should be living by. If you believe in God's power and not just man's branding, comment trust God and tag someone who's ready to look at history, scripture, and the Constitution with fresh eyes. Revive the Republic.